All right, y'all ready to keep it going, huh? Next guy coming to the stage. Also a hilarious actor. He actually had a role on the TV show Dallas back in the day. He's been on America's Most Wanted, not as a person being hunted, but in the reenactments. You know what I'm talking about? Yes, hilarious guy. I know you're gonna love him. Give it up for the very talented Mr. Jim Thomas.
Is the FBI here looking for me tonight? Ah, what a beautiful theater. Did I accidentally leave my zipper down again? So, I moved back to Atlanta a while ago after spending some time out in Los Angeles, and I noticed some really big differences between the two towns. For instance, in Atlanta, you might wake up one morning and see a cute little squirrel peeking in your bedroom window. But in Los Angeles, you might wake up one morning and find a man dressed as a squirrel peeking in your bedroom window. Crazy town. But people out in LA, they're all obsessed with trying to look younger than they really are. And they're into these wrinkle creams. You know what I'm talking about? Have you seen these ads? Watch as your skin grows younger and younger with each application. What a load, huh? I mean, come on. If this stuff really worked, you wouldn't know who was who and what was what. I mean, imagine two young guys in a bar trying to pick up girls. Hey, man, look over there. She is beautiful. Look at that face. No, man, stay away from her. She's on the cream. The cream? What are you talking about? It's a wrinkle cream, man. Check out the shoes. They're orthopedic. That is a meemaw. Speaking of old people, how about the Rolling Stones? They're on tour again. Can you believe that? The Rolling Stones. They're in their 70s, and they're still playing that old rock and roll. You know, in the old days, their tours used to be sponsored by companies like Microsoft and Coca-Cola. Now it's Metamucil and Hoveround. People used to pass around marijuana joints in the audience at Stones concerts. You remember that? Now it's Lipitor. I'm not so sure that people are buying tickets to these concerts because they enjoy the music so much as they just want to say that they were there when Mick Jagger hit his final high note and crumbled into a pile of dust on stage. They asked Keith Richards recently, how can you stand to be right in the middle of this loud rock music night after night at your advanced age? He said, huh? Have you heard about the snack cake crisis? Hostess Snack Cake Company has gone out of business. Never again will we see ho-hos, ding-dongs, or honey buns, except maybe in a food museum or in certain midtown bars around 2 a.m. How many of you out there enjoy reality shows? You like to watch the reality shows? I mean, they get weirder and weirder. I mean, have you seen the one about the guy that had the tumor removed that was twice his body weight? Did you see that one? How does something like that get so far out of hand before you do something about it? It must be something like, wow, I got a lump on my scrotum. Ah, it's nothing. And then 6 months later, it's like, whoa. This lump on my scrotum's the size of a grapefruit. Ah, it'll probably go away. And then 6 months later, your cousin comes over. He hasn't seen you for a year and a half. He says, hey man, let me try out that cool new beanbag chair you're sitting on. It's not a beanbag. But my favorite, my all-time favorite show is Swamp People. How many people like to watch Swamp People? I mean, these guys, I don't know if they're crazy or just stupid. They reach down into this murky water, grab a snapping gator by a rope, drag him up to the boat, and shoot him in the head with a .22. I mean, these guys are good. But eventually, you know, the ratings are going to start slipping for this show. And the producers are going to have to start showing us the guys that aren't so good. Like Bubba Boudreaux. Now, Bubba has lost both his arms and one leg to alligators. But Bubba is not a quitter. Tonight, on Swamp People, watch as Bubba Boudreaux is towed behind his boat, buck naked, after dipping himself in teriyaki sauce in a valiant attempt to capture an alligator by kicking it to death. And then next week, tonight, on Swamp People, a very special memorial to Bubba Boudreaux. And they interview Bubba's buddy, and he says, yeah, old Bubba, he was a daredevil. He sure was. He liked to live his life as if he already had one foot in the grave. And now that's all we got to put in there is 1 foot. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a great audience.